Strikers is seen here, and then just run on. And as soon as I'm running on the kicker, they'll run and just escape. But I said I'm not going to go 100% first. If I go first 100%, I'll get anything else. They're all going to sit and get the jump off. So I do a little bit. I think like a metre over them. Then you fucking kick it. Yeah, and I saw what my boys said, fucking Jamie, remember Ed Morrison? Jamie was like centre back in the corner. Oh, yeah. Fucking, and Jamie was low over Jamie Benman. I heard you saw Jamie on Friday. Apparently Jamie was here on Friday at training. Apparently maybe she said Jamie said no. Yeah, Harry said Jamie was here on Friday. Yeah, up for race. Right, I'll Google it. Boo! I know, like, a few words.
Testing. Testing 1, 2. And Sydney FC. Park canteen is available for coffee, hot food, snacks and cold drinks.
Let's get to it, John.
Smoking
What's up?
Any guest phone smoker will be asked to leave the venue. If you wish to smoke, please do 10 metres outside the entrance gate. Playing field to our regards to all, except players and officials. Please ensure when leaving Christie Park that all rubbish is taken with you or placed in the bins in the vicinity. Please make a visit and expectation of all spectators, respect all players and referees at all times whilst inside the venue. Spirit FC would like to thank our sponsors for their continued support. PMG, Riders for League Stock, Professional Strata 10, Moves and Burgers, The Fitness Edge, Solaris, On-Site Finance, Young Academics, IMD Industries, S&D Plumbing and Drainage, Gulf Financial Services, PTJ Mutai Gym, Crown Plaza Macquarie Park, Molina Christmas Trees, New Horizon Air Conditioning, Rossi's Fresh Grocer, Red Belly Panini, Alpha Gear and Jolka. Lineups for today's game. Spirit FC, number 1, Christopher Marks, goalkeeper. Number 2, Aidan Mustafi. 3, Claire Williams. 7, Shoki Yoshida. 8, Grant Cromwell, captain. 11, Khan Nizam. 13, Simon Nicholas. 15, Sam Armstrong. 17, Hiko Kobayashi. 18, Andre Takami. And 21, Finn Garrett McBride. On the bench, we've got Owen Henderson, Benjamin Giroux, Daniel Warrior, Tristan Hammond, Stavros Sokis, and Thomas Mason. Coaching team is Sergio Mafara, Noah Nunn, Stephen Mafajin, and Louis Corwell. Sydney FC, with number 3, Arif Faraz. 8, Otagu Kamijo.
Well, the Clouds have gathered at Christie Park ahead of a game between two sides in search of bluer skies in NPL New South Wales after disappointing defeats last week. Christie Park, or the Arctic Circle, not exactly living up to its cultural nickname today, but the appetite for 3 points as hot as ever between two sides, eager to put last week behind them. NWS Spirit and Sydney FC coming head-to-head in round 3. After disappointing defeats last week, they are both seeking a rapid return to winning ways. Sergio Malfara's side returning home after a 3-2 defeat to the champions Apia Leichhardt last week. He will be buoyed by a late rally that saw them score 2 goals in the final 10 minutes, but knows there is plenty to improve on the 80 that preceded it today. For the visiting side, Sydney FC, they are looking to pick themselves up from Valentine's Day heartbreaker. 4-0 derby demolition away to the Wanderers last week means there is plenty to improve on for Jimmy Van Weeren's side today. They are after a positive performance in the northwest of Sydney, and they have brought in some big guns to help them in their ambition. Just one change to the 11, but it is a very big change indeed. Akola Khan, a surprise player to drop down to the academy side out of the A-League program. He comes straight into the 11 in place of Jordan Gradowski. The other big addition is on the bench, where Joe Lacey will make his first appearance of the season, and it means that 8 of the 16 players in the Sydney FC squad today lay claim to competitive experience with the senior side. For NWS Spirit, there are a handful of changes. Sergio Malfara, of course, coming up against a side he knows well, a former youth coach at Sydney FC. He's been forced into a couple of changes. No Brady Smith or Costa Petratos today, so Finn Ballard-McBride, Riku Kobayashi and Sam Armson all make their way into the starting 11. Zane Aluwalia, the other player who drops to the Pine. So at this early juncture in the season, even after frustrating defeats last week, hope springs eternal, and two sides have a big chance to put the woes of last week behind them at Christie Park with a positive performance today. It's underway in the northwest of Sydney. Great to have your company for it, wherever you're tuning in from. Lockie Flanagan in the commentary booth today. It's a sweltering summer Saturday in Sydney at the start of the day. That has rather changed as kickoff has approached. The clouds have gathered. We have had a little rain shower and distant rumbles of thunder. Pre-kickoff, we understand that is as bad as it will get. These two teams who are looking for bluer skies this week, their only way to find them, it seems, will be on the pitch today. There's Khan Nizam, one of a number of former Sydney FC Academy players who face their old side today. Another in Ballard McBride, with a nice exchange of pass between the two. Cut back into a dangerous area, not fully cleared by the Sydney defence, and in the end, it's a easy task for Jared Williams, 17-year-old in goals for the third successive game. One of the new arrivals to Jimmy Van Weeren's academy setup today, having made the switch from the Mariners, where he was a long-time product of their youth academy. And unfortunately, he's had plenty of work to do so far. These two sides mirror images of one another, 1 win and 1 loss to start the season. And that's a nice ball over the top, looking for Zach DeJesus. Cleared away by Kaya Williams. But the big difference between the two has been the difficulty in defensive rearguard so far for Sydney FC. 2 conceded against SD Raiders last week, or in round 1. 4 conceded against the Wanderers last week. A really shock result, that one, at Wanderers Football Park. Because it was a fairly strong Sydney 11, as Camijo has one of his teammates do Spirit's defending for him. Mitchell Glasson, the captain today. Strong win that from Simon Nicholas. Akola Khan, there'll be plenty of eyes on him today. It's fallen under the feet of Lockie Middleton. It's his twin brother just passing the ball off. Jared, the number 14 Non-identical twins, both celebrating their birthday tomorrow. Oh, they would love to bring in another trip round the sun with 3 points today. Headley twisting and turning really nicely, getting around Aiden Mustafi. And Sydney FC asked a few questions of today's referee, Ayad Naji. Appeals that went unrewarded. Strong challenge that time from Mustafi. All clean that particular instance. Of course, we've got a raft of games running concurrently to this one. It's a 3-game feast for your Saturday afternoon. This one kicking off concurrently to a interesting clash between former Spirit head coach David Perkovic's Sutherland and St George FC. And the slightly earlier kickoff is between the newly promoted sides UNSW and SD Raiders. And it is the University of New South Wales in a 1-0 lead. De Jesus. Swift pass for Camijo. Headley's fast feet were clever. Slides it to Middleton. All the early impetus has been with Sydney FC. Akon. Nice pass through the lines for Corey Cronin. As Headley darts the eyes up, bends in a tantalising ball, looking for the run of Glasser. Now De Jesus. Get the most convincing of contacts, and it is comfortably into the arms of Chris Marks. Certainly a lot of observers with raised eyebrows to see the name of Akolakon starting today for Sydney FC's Youth Academy. Of course, you do see fluctuations and shocks in these Academy 11s now and again. They are nice cross in, Glasson the target again. Academy sides are often pursuant to the orbit of the A-League men's side and their wants and desires for players. Apparently Ufuk Talay did not desire the services of Akolakon for that game against Brisbane in the A-League men, which is currently in action as well. Which again is part of the reason it is so surprising to see him play today. They often like to keep a couple of academy players on ice just in case of an injury to the warm-up, the need to add an extra player onto the bench. It wasn't that long ago that he was starring in the Sydney derby against his former side, the Wanderers. Here comes Spirit through Nizam. Ballard McBride trying to turn a sky blue marker. Cronin had to be careful and was. Good play from Spirit here. Nizam trying to get a shot away. It's a swing and a miss, and Naji was in the perfect place to spot the handball of Shoki Yoshida. It's a good run in the lead-up from Sam Armson. He gets his first start in a Spirit shirt today. Making the move from a long-time association with Inter Lions. Of course, it's a familiar name in NPL circles. Brother Jack, star of this competition, currently at Marconi. Glasson. Good sliding challenge from Kaya Williams. And in turn from Grant Cornwell. Lockie Middleton being harassed and harangued by Riku Kobayashi. Another with the first start today. Glasson. Out wide to Headley. was a nippy challenge. Spirit win the ball back. And Takami able to clear it out of the corner. Ballard McBride. Lockie Middleton. Tay Headley has been heavily involved so far. Ball into the box, a decent one. Glassick getting contact, but not to turn it goalwards. To Jesus. Falls down. Shoki Yoshida.
That's head high, sir. That's a yellow card. He was away. Yes. The yellow card. He was away.
Nizam. Judged by Jared Middleton, heading towards brother Lockie. Camijo. Mention those 8 players who have got senior Sydney FC experience to call upon today. Wataru Camijo amongst the most experienced. 15 A-League appearances for him. I believe that's second only to Zach DeJesus in this squad today. Glasson marching forward, trying to thread the needle for Headley. Just a bit too much meat on it. Great to see Mitch Glasson back in Australia. Had a loan stint last year in Finland, in the Verkasliga. Scored a couple of goals in the Finnish top flight. Played plenty of football, 27 appearances. Jared Williams away from the pressure of Ballard McBride. Mustafi. His goal, one of the bright points for Spirit last week. That is a bending ball to the back post where his arm was the waiting target, not called into action. It'll be interesting to see, though, how the Spirit attack, how their chance creation functions without Costa Petratos, one of the absentees today. He's been very good in 2 games in a Spirit shirt so far. Scored that match winner against the Sutherland Sharks in the opening weekend. Even though he didn't get his name on the score sheet last week, he's a skillful player who can make things happen. The responsibility will be on others' shoulders. Nicholas. Con providing the pressure. Nicholas has just run out of room to manoeuvre. And when you've got a collar con over your shoulder, clearing out for safety, perhaps the best option. Of course, it's not just the absence of Costa Petratos that leaves Spirit with work to do in the creative stakes. It's just that off-season of turnover and change they've had at large. The departure of David Perkovic from the Premiership side. They've lost all of their top 8 scorers from last season. Headlined by Korsi Wakubu, Takumi Ifuka and Michael Konostabo, all seeking pastures anew. Actually, a fascinating stat from fellow Football New South Wales commentator Eric Subiano last week. 82 goals in all competitions for Spirit this season. 75 of those goals last year were scored by players who were no longer calling Christie Park home. So that's the challenge for Serge Malfarra this season. The Colacon has shown too much of the ball to Simon Nicholas. Farias. Early ball looking for Glasson. He was in an offside position. And it was a handy finish as well. Just a shame he was The wrong side of the last defender from a Sydney FC persuasion. Plenty of energy, intensity and movements to this one after 13 minutes played at Christie Park. Ballard McBride riding a challenge well. Mustafi keeping it alive for Spirits. And he's now back on the ball here, battling with DeJesus. Good play from Spirit. Great ball in from Mustafi, and it's missed by all the willing heads in the middle. And past the reach of Khan Nizam.
Keep the pressure on.
Takami.
See that pitch control. Get higher. Shoot to get free.
Kaya Williams receiving passes. Shoki Yoshida. Spirit bench thought he might have been collected from behind, but didn't feel as though it was sufficient contact to justify a penalty kick. What is pleasing to see now that we're watching Spirit on the football is that much of the personnel is different. The core principles of their football are largely similar to last season, as Ballard McBride nearly gets the ball in. Will have to content himself with a corner.
That'll bring the crowds back. Sammy. Hey, Sammy. Armson. Back foot 10. Back foot 10.
Just think that patch of play of passing patterns we saw earlier between the likes of Mustafi and Ballard McBride on the left flank, not dissimilar to the kind of football fans saw and enjoyed both in the NPL and in the Australian Championship. As in comes the corner, Cornwell lurking, it's a solid save. Tipped away by Jared Williams to deny Spirit's favourite son a rare goal. Did score one last season, Grant Cornwell. It was his first in over 1,000 days, so they don't come often, but they are richly celebrated when they do arrive. Take two for Spirit. This one not quite as good, and in fact it's gone all the way out before arriving into the penalty area.
Close the middle first. Close the middle. Go, Finn, go.
It's a really brilliant leap from Grant Cornwell. Good save as well. DeJesus. Well marshalled by Simon Nicholas. Mr. Consistent in defence for Spirits.
Get in front of him. Get in front of him.
He's only missed one Spirit game in the last 3 seasons, Simon Nicholas. He's the only outfield player to play every game of Spirit's premiership season last year, including the Australian Championship. Defending to do here. Sydney FC earn themselves a set piece, for which Corey Cronin and Tay Headley are in fervent discussion. What are these young kids cooking? 2 arms aloft from Tay Headley. Glasson makes the move at the front stick. And it's comfortably cleared by Ballard McBride. Back over the top, missed by Middleton. And harmlessly out of play for a goal kick. Interesting to know where to set the expectations for Spirit this season. setting such a enormously high bar for themselves last year. A premiership victory that few, if any, saw coming. And the turnover that has followed has left the commentariat with divided opinions as to where they might place themselves this season. Perhaps their mixed bag of a first fortnight in 2026 is evidence of that. Yoshida tries to bend the ball towards Mustafi, whose perseverance paid. Only for a moment, though, out for a goal kick for Jared Williams. And they've been able to hear through the FX microphone, even if it came to naught. Serge Malfara at least pleased with the intent and idea on the pass from Shoki Yoshida.
Brisbane roared up 2-0 already.
Shoki Yoshida to Jesus, plucking it out of the early evening air, firing in a decent cross too. How's the control at the back post? Not the best from Cronin. Just opened up a little gap for Spirit to smother. Mustafi, one of those two goal scorers in the last 10 against RPA Leichhardt. Alongside the aforementioned Shoki Yoshida. We produced a scoreline that in the end was perhaps a little bit more flattering than the actual game itself suggested. 3-2. Sydney FC looking to transition here. Akolakon looking to do it all himself. Akon couldn't guide the effort on target, but that is a little flash of what this talented teenager has got on offer. Head runs to his left and right. 3 defenders ahead of him in close proximity, and backed himself to get round all comers, and did. It was just the finish that was lacking. Jimmy Van Wieren will be hoping he can see more of that from one of his top academy talents. To believe sometimes with the confidence he's played, not just in this league, but stepping up to the A-League as well. Still only 16 years old, doesn't celebrate his 17th birthday until May. Sydney FC's youngest ever A-League men's player. Kamijo turned into trouble, picked off by Yoshida. His pass a poor one though. I was going to say, his slide tackle not much better. There was a momentary hesitation and suspicion that Ayadaji might have allowed play to continue, but a fairly open and shut case. Cronin. Tyler Williams distributing wide to Reef Farias. Akon. His expectation when he's in and around the football, worked off it fairly easily that time. He felt that perhaps it was exacted illegally. It's a heavy touch from Nicholas, luckily for him. Colacon's closing speed sees it deflect out for a Spirit throw. Really nice work by Kobayashi. So can't be said of Andre Takami's pass. Headley bustled in by behind from Sam Armson. And Sydney can't make much of taking it quickly. Maybe they can now, though. Glasson! Oh, what a strike! It's a howitzer to open the scoring at Christie Park. And it's their captain with a cracker. Sydney FC take the lead. A fantastic goal from Mitch Glasson. And the pain of last week's derby defeat washes away in style. Sydney FC lead at the Arctic Circle. And how quickly things flipped and flopped in that sequence. Sydney FC turned their quick free kick straight over, only for Spirit to give it straight back. And Mitch Glasson's second of the season was one to savour. Didn't think twice when the opportunity arose. And there's so much A-League experience quality in this youthful side today. Perhaps it is no surprise that one of them has made the difference early doors. Chance for Spirit to break back from a free kick. It's bent in well by Takami, headed across and not away by Sydney FC. Takami, beautiful first touch. Armson. Mustafi loves to get to the byline and set something up. Made it hard for Middleton. Mustafi will be looking to do exactly the same again. Farias who wins out that time. Headley, really great stuff from the youngster. And now lifted over the top for a Colacon. The flag has stayed down. Akon's left the ball behind. And Kaya Williams able to pick it up. Now this game has really opened up. Middleton in a tangle with Nizam, and it's the former Wanderer who gives away the free kick. The early evidence, though, is that opening goal from Mitch Glasson has sparked Spirit into action. I don't know how much of the qualities that made them such a great side for the neutral to watch last season will carry over to this year. They were not a side you wrote off after going behind in games. Oh, that is a risky one from Marks. Headley's flick, not read by Akon. Picked off by Kamijo. It's not an age-old adage for a reason. The goal has certainly changed this game. An uplift in intensity as Farias scoops it in the direction of Glasson. Williams' clearance works out perfectly for Khan Nizam, who's hopeful ball forward rather haphazard. The football afforded back swiftly though. Kobayashi, Ballard, McBride, great exchange of pass, great save, and the follow-up effort can't be snapped home. That was madness in the box. And Spirit conspire to not score. It was irrepressible play in its lead-up. Ballard, McBride, and Riku Kobayashi exchanging some wonderful passes. Jared Williams came up with the initial stop. Two separate Spirit players had fresh air swings at the ball. And ultimately a double deflection as Ballard McBride tried to knock it in. Saw it out for this corner. It comes in nicely. Cornwell worked under it. Will it sit for Armson? No.
Face the ball! Face the ball!
That's how you can tell he's related to Sam. Or to Jack, I should say. That was a venomous hit. Not to be for Spirit, but they will take plenty of confidence from the last couple of minutes. And eagle-eyed viewers of NPL New South Wales may remember the fantastic First fixture of the season, these two played out last year, 3-2. Spirit coming back from behind to win it in stoppage time. This one could be a goal fest as well. Now here, a Spirit again through Kobayashi. And the more telling touch on the last two occasions from one of their new Japanese signings. And we could be talking about a level game. Kobayashi is getting more than involved in his first Spirit start. So from Kochi United in J3, one of 20 Japanese players we've got in NPL New South Wales this season. Will this hold up for DeJesus? It will. He lifts it in towards a Collicon. Williams favoured. Took its time, this game. The last 5 minutes just give you that feeling that more goals may well be on the way. It's been a competitive fixture in the 3 years it's been played in Sydney's top flight since Spirit's promotion. Spirit 3 wins to Sydney's 2. 11 goals in the last 3 head-to-head meetings, so they've delivered in recent times. Can't help but wonder if he's going to keep up what is a roughly 3.6 goal a game average. Camijo. Wonderful ball, marks off the line. Glassick going for the chip. Will he get it at the other end? He's brought down. It's a penalty for the Sky Blues. And a red card for Aiden Mustafi. Well, just as this game was starting to open up, just as Spirit looked like they were on course for an equaliser, that has rather changed things. Camijo's ball catching up the Spirit defence. Glassick got round marks, was brought down by Mustafi, who's received his marching orders and sent Mitch Glasson to the spots. And those on the Spirit bench may be feeling that that is harsh. Of course, do try to avoid triple punishment, penalties and red cards in the same sequence, but the case being made by the fourth official to the Spirit bench, who are asking that exact question, is that triple punishment rule is only observed for legitimate footballing challenges. The referee team's judgment was that Mustafi's was not one. So now we turn our attention back to the penalty spot, where the outcome of this spot kick could determine whether this game is game on, or whether the molehill is about to become a mountain for the 10-men Spirits. Glasson against Marks. The young striker has already got the beating of the Spirit keeper once. Already got 2 this season. He is sizing up a 3rd in as many weeks. Big moment in this fixture, you feel. Up steps Glasson, in goes the ball. The captain's got 2. And Sydney FC have insurance policy on a cracking opening goal from the same player who provided the first. Mitch Glasson doubles the advantage, and the 10 men of NWS Spirits have got work to do in front of their home faithful. A bitter pill for the Premiers. And Mitch Glasson has come back from Finland on loan with a vengeance. 3 goals in 3 games. And that red card is going to bring about a Substitution for Spirit. Khan Nizam, the unlucky player to be sacrificed. In comes Stavros Serpes for his first appearance of the season. Spirit debut for the Australian Cypriot right back. Returned to his home city of Sydney after a fairly long stint overseas. He's been playing in Greece in the past couple of seasons, most recently with Merani Filiatron, formerly in the English lower divisions with the likes of Ashton United, Farsley, Tranmere and Accrington. And now Sydney will look to extend their advantage. This is wonderful footwork down the right. Oh, and nearly in for three. Brilliant work from Tay Headley. That is the youngster at his absolute best. And it's a piece of quality keeping from Chris Marks that denies Sydney a third in swift succession. What's a run from Tay Headley? In comes the corner, looping towards the back post and not really able to be kept alive by Glasson. Jimmy Van Weeren would have been demanding a response from his Sydney FC Chargers off the back of last week's derby demolition. He has most certainly got that. And what would be so satisfying about it is that second goal came, well, could still be trouble here. Shoki Yoshida marching forward, checking inside. Now it's across to the other side for Kobayashi. And again, incredibly, Spirit cannot find their breakthrough goal. Yoshida had beaten all comers, took the touch around the last defender, ready to pull the trigger. Somehow it slipped him by, and then Ballard McBride, and then Kobayashi. Kobayashi's corner, Yoshida missing it. Sydney FC surging forward are the sky blue shirts. Glasson, brilliant switch. Headley, Sydney with runners in space. It's Tay Headley, it's deflected. Well, the chance not dead for Sydney. Glasson, he could be on for a first half hat-trick. Looking to turn provider here, a con. Can't direct his header goalwards. I'm not sure how Serge Malfara will take that previous chance, because it depends on what side of the coin you choose to look at it. You could be buoyed by the fact that Spirit found a way to fashion an opening even with 10. You'd be so frustrated that again Spirit managed not to put the ball in the net. Akon going on a solo run, still going, a Con into the crossbar. Headley, more fast footwork from him. Cross into the box, flicked away by Nicholas. Farias looking to recycle. It may not have panned out the way Spirit would have liked, but it's been entertaining fare this first half. Farias' early ball, Glasson just whistled past the forehead Otherwise, he could have been sizing up a hat-trick. Well, it is a surprise, perhaps, that Sydney FC lead 2-0, that Spirit are down to 10. It is a genuine shock that Spirit have not found a way to score a goal in this game. Just the stark reminder, this one, of how quickly a match can turn. Spirit were inches away on multiple occasions from an equaliser with 11. All it took was one Wataru Kamijo pass to unpick them, send them down to 10. And now Sydney have this one in their grip. Headley, he looks like he's having fun out there. Cronin can't angle the ball back in time. Harmlessly out of play. Well, if you've made the choice to pick us as your game of choice this afternoon in NPL New South Wales, or you've got this one on the main screen across multiple, you've made the right call. 2 goals and a red card inside 40 minutes. Just the 1 goal elsewhere. UNSW leading SD Raiders in the clash between the newly promoted teams. And there could be more goals here. Middleton, Dyson was offside. Lockie Middleton. Reef Farias. Really enterprising fullback is Farias. See, he's stayed forward here as the Sky Blues are keen to extend their advantage even further. De Jesus. Underlapping run from Farias, who takes it in stride, heads to the byline and keeps it alive, but only to the advantage of Marks. And this could be a nasty one for Farias, because he's been caught in his effort to get that ball in by Sam Armson. I don't think there was any ill intent on the part of Armson, but Farias went straight into the fence and hit the turf. Well, rather the concrete rather than the turf, so there will be real concern for him. It's a very short run-off area. He was bumped off it by Armson, knocked into the fence, and then that sent him hurtling towards the concrete race from which the players usually enter. All signs are that he'll be absolutely fine, though, so that is good news. A round of applause as Farias returns to his feet. The inquest continues on the sideline, both from Farias and the Sydney coaching staff. You may notice as well, if you see the Sydney bench in picture at any point, of course Jimmy Van Weeren, the head coach. You may also notice Sydney's Ninja A-League Women's interim head coach, James Slaveski. There is assistant. Akon, smart first touch. He's around Kaya Williams. How is he going to go against Cornwell? Really great work from the experienced defender. Fantastic from the 35-year-old. Cole bends it in. Is this Glasson for the hat-trick? No, he's headed off at the pass by Grant Cornwell. Superb from Subby, as they call him around the traps here at Christie Park. Kamijo, his touch was very heavy indeed, but Managed to keep it alive for Sydney. That's more like it. Farias turns, crosses, Cronin couldn't get convincing contact. That touch in the air from a Spirit defender, all important. No doubt it's an uphill battle, this one, for Spirit FC, but the thing that does tend to be true about academy sides is they can be a little bit vulnerable at the back. They can sometimes be easily unsettled. And you just feel if Spirit do eventually find that goal they've been searching for, maybe this one is far more a contest than it might seem on paper. Ballard McBride is going into the book for blocking that off. Certainly a fixture where the next goal feels oh so important. Sydney find it. And it's hard, not impossible. This is the comeback kings of New South Wales NPL in Spirit FC we're talking about, but hard to find a way for them to get back into the game. But pull one back, and even with 10, if they can get under the skin of Sydney, this will be up for grabs. Camijo overcooked. Easy pickings for Chris Marks. He's one of the constants after that heady off-season change. 7th season in between the sticks for Chris Marks at Spirit. Some of their goalkeeper coaching as well as playing. Armson. To Jesus. 3 minutes of injury time added on. Time enough for either side to score. Sydney looking to do exactly that. A Colacon. Still going. Checking inside. A Colacon. Straight down the throat of Chris Marks. Serge Malfaro wants his team to hunt that goal before stoppage time expires, or does he just want to get into the sheds to reset? Williams. He's being urged to drive by the bench. Perhaps that's your answer. Ballard McBride in the tangle with Tyler Williams. Armson. Out by Farias. Kai Williams. 1 minute of the 3 added on by Ben Hutchinson, already chipped away. Serpes. Not towards goal. Oh, awkward onto the roof of the net. Corner coming for Spirits. Jared Williams was scrambling back. Serpes is high up and under, uncomfortable for the Sydney defence. The last touch from Middleton just got it away from danger, but nearly into massive trouble. Kobayashi's corner. And now Takami. It's the kind of day where Spirit will be searching for something special from that kind of range. Well, they have had their chances in this game. The likes of Shoki Yoshida Riku Kobayashi, Ballard McBride perhaps to a lesser extent. All could argue that they should be going into halftime with a goal against their name. And they still get a chance to do it. It's a free kick whistled by Ayad Naji in favour of the hosts. Referee just taking exception to some of the contact on Ballard McBride. Another one of the new brigade at Spirit this season. Signed from Sydney United. He was only a brief contributor after the mid-season window last year. Former Sydney FC youth player back from the non-league system with Welling. It's an awkwardly positioned free kick for Andre Takami. Looks to bend it towards the back post. But Jared Middleton was strong and commanding. Serpes angles a ball in. And Williams collects comfortably to bring us to a close in the opening half at Christie Park. Sydney FC were looking for a response after that derby disappointment last week. After 45 minutes played, they have at this point found it. 2-0 they lead at the break, courtesy of 2 goals from their captain, Mitch Glasson. The first, a firing drive from the top of the box that left Spirit slightly reeling against the flow. They look to find their way back into the game, only for Sydney to counter quickly. Wataru Kamiju catching out the back line, seeing Aiden Mustafi sent off, and Glasson converted a second from the spot that has Sydney on course for a swift return to the winner's circle. But we know this Spirit side have got bounce-back ability in them. It's still alive and all there to play for on the other side of the break. Halftime score, though, is NWF Spirit 0, Sydney FC 2. Well, as is custom out of the break at Christie Park, the traditional tune of Spirit in the Sky plays at the Arctic Circle. And perhaps it is fitting because the home side will be asking a Spirit in the Sky to help them out with a potential second half comeback. 2-0 they trail in round 3 to the visiting Sydney FC. 2 goals for Mitch Glasson either side of a red card for Aiden Mustafi. Means that there is lots of work for the hosts to do if they are to find a route back into this contest and to thwart Sydney's attempts to bounce back instantaneously and emphatically from last week's derby defeat. You are only just joining us for the second 45 at Christie Park. It is great to have your company, but it is well worth going back on the YouTube stream. You have live pause and rewind available to you as the second half recommences, to go and look back at the goals from the opening half, because Mitch Glasson's first on 24 minutes, well worth another look. A fantastic instinctive strike, the first of 2, and he's looking for his hat-trick here. It's Mitch Glasson for Sydney. It's a big save from Chris Marks. He's already got the beating of the Spirit stopper twice today. A cracking opener. Converted the penalty after a challenge on him that saw Aiden Mustafi sent off. And he will be hunting his hat-trick. Sydney will be looking for more. Spirit hoping for a route back into the ball game. Ball bent in. Farias tracking back. Headley lifts it back in. Middleton rising. And there's the halftime substitute, Joe Lacey, who got up. It doesn't sit for Glasson. Good hold-up play, though, from him. Farias. Good play from Sydney. Glasson driving it in. It's 3. Or is it? The offside flag is up to deny Jared Middleton what would have been an early birthday present one day before the 20th birthday. And it would have been his first goal in the NPL. After 49 appearances. Not to be, though. Been a hot start to the second half for Sydney. Come forward through Jared's twin brother, Lockie Middleton. I have to imagine Jimmy Van Wieren would really have put the pressure on his side to keep up the good work of the first and probably to extend their advantage, make a bit of a statement against Spirit. It's a very different side, but these are the reigning premiers. And despite their 2-0 deficit, despite their player deficit, they did have their chances to score. Spirit will have confidence that they could mount a comeback, but the next goal, all important. And probably your fancy decides whether or not that will be possible today. But it really was any wonder that Spirit didn't score. The likes of Shoki Yoshida and Riku Kobayashi both laying claim to gilt-edged opportunities that could not be converted. And I'm sure Serge Malfaro would have been making the points that they did have those chances. All they need is to capitalise. They'll get a corner to look to do that here. Corner ball bent in. Williams flapped but got a touch. Marks. Sydney FC bringing their numbers up. Nicholas launching a switch in search of Shoki Yoshida, who will latch onto it. and get round his marker. Shoki Yoshida goes to the ground. It's a big decision for the referee, and no penalty is his choice. And the Sky Blues looking to break forward swiftly. Kaya Williams, who collects Joe Lacey and becomes the latest Spirit player. That makes his way into Ayad Naji's book. Discontents across the park here. For both sides, Sydney FC thought that there should have been a foul called before the corner. Serge Malfara making the point that he felt that that challenge on Shoki Yoshida was worthy of a penalty. Lacey's ball in. Oh, that was awkward for Marks. Decided to chest it down rather than use the arms. Your guess as good as mine as to why. It is the one position famously where you can use your hands. That is well won back by Lockie Middleton. But Spirit win it back just as swiftly. And they're moving forward with menace here. Simon Nicholas! Another one goes begging for Spirit. But they are continuing to threaten even with 10. Simon Nicholas, not a regular scorer, but not far away on that occasion.
Get one, we get two, boys.
And despite the player advantage, the scoreline that favours the Sky Blues, the door just still feels ajar for Spirit. But they can only afford to blaze so many chances away before the extra time and space for Sydney may just tell. DeJesus swinging it in, spilled by Marks, who totally lost it. Cornwell able to clear. Headley looking for Glasson. He's got two markers for company. Spirit are not going to make it easy if he wants to get his hat-trick. Headley. Camijo. Pings a ball. What a switch that is. DeJesus was offside. That was the only thing thwarting the scale of its quality. Of course, just to finish off the housekeeping from the halftime break, I mentioned that Joe Lacey was the player who made his way on. Of course, that signalled the end of the day for Akola Khan. It was a surprise starter today at the Arctic Circle. Flashes of his A-League quality, but not able to get on the score sheet. Do you often see these young players on minutes restrictions now? Glassick stayed offside. Well, the flag stayed down. Glasson thought for sure that he was off, so stayed his run, and no one was willing to chase after it. Glasson, a really interesting case. I mentioned he spent the season last year on loan in Finland. He was playing for KTP. Has had a fair bit of experience dating back across a couple of seasons with the Sydney A-League side. Serpes didn't know the ball was travelling his way from Kobayashi. Glasson has slipped in again. This could be his moment. Glasson, super save from Marks. The follow-up from Lacey is rolled in. And Sydney go 3 clear on the break. But for the quality keeping of marks, Sydney FC show the ruthless efficiency that Spirits have not been able to match. And it won't be a hat-trick for Glasson, but it will be an impact off the bench for Joe Lacey, who scores in his first appearance of the NPL New South Wales season. And that is a third that rather makes life tough for Spirits. Well, they may feel aggrieved about the red card and the penalty in the first half. They'll have to look at themselves for some of the profligacy that they've displayed, and there could be danger here. Glasson denied by Williams, but the threat not abated. Lacey, Sydney really want to make this a smash. Oh, Jesus has to be careful. He's sworn in the direction of the referee. That does carry with it some risk. Eventually the referees did whistle in his favour. Sydney FC have got Jordan Graroski going through his final warm-ups. Expect him to come on shortly. Should mention as well, Mitch Glasson now has 3 goals against Spirit in NPL New South Wales. In comes the free kick. And it's easy for Marks. Scored the match winner against Spirits at the Yillenden Sports Centre, I believe, back in the 2023 season. Lockie Middleton. Got caught between options there. Ballard McBride, clever flick. Spirit will still be searching for the goal that has slipped them by so far in this game. Good hard work by Shoki Yoshida, who lifts it into the box, but past the willing runners. Yoshida, other than his inefficiency in front of goal, has been good today. Player who impressed in the Australian Championship against Spirit for Canberra, Croatia. Tore up the capital NPL with Gungahlin last year. Serpes. He was the player who came on after Aiden Mustafi's send-off. Cronin. Headley couldn't receive the bounce pass from Kamijo because he'd gone to ground. So too does Takami. No whistle from the referee. Much to the chagrin of the Spirit faithful. And perhaps that angst was unnecessary because Ayad Naji has afforded the free kick to Spirits. This is a controversial substitution. Jordan Graroski is going to come onto the field, and Mitch Glasson, who's been sitting on a hat-trick, will come off. He doesn't seem too frustrated about it, though. He's the captain issuing motivational instructions to Jordan Graroski, who's made his way onto the field. Mitch Glasson Not get that hat-trick. He has still built on an impressive start to the season, though. Takami. Selby, Grant Cornwell can only keep it alive. Couldn't do much more than that. This game has had 3 times as many goals as the 2 other games elsewhere. It remains goalless between Sutherland and St George FC. Well, UNSW have retained their 1-0 advantage against the newly promoted SD Raiders. As Spirit have won it back. Cornwell couldn't pick the lock and feed Takami. A game that feels like it's still got more goals to give. They see couldn't take it to the toes of Zach de Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Benny. The game needs a hero. Here he comes. Benny, Big Benny. Next up. Benny.
Coming up shortly as a substitute, many at Spirit will enjoy. Cornwell couldn't control. Grarowski couldn't do either. And the strike on the turn is a solid one from Tay Headley. But smothered up by Chris Marks in the end. What has been pleasing is that at no point have Spirits under Serge Malfara look to just conserve and make sure they don't lose any more goals. They're still going for goals in this game. They still have some belief, even if it is giving Sydney the chance to add more at the other end. Second crack at the cross. Couldn't reach Ballard McBride. Stavros Serpes back to Cornwell. Kyrie Williams guiding it towards the box. Yoshida to the turf. That's appeal rather more half-hearted than the last we saw. Kamijo to Middleton. It's a clean pass here. This could be danger for the Spirit defence. De Jesus cutting it inside. Grarowski! So close to another instant impact from Sydney's second substitute. Could not match Joe Lacey's effort of scoring off the bench that time around. Deflection made it just a little bit trickier for him. Sydney have got 2 on, but first, this is a great moment for NWS Spirit. Off goes Finn Ballard McBride, and on for his home debut is 18-year-old Spirit's Academy product, Ben Daru. Signed his first senior deal in the off-season. Of course, it's a debut home appearance of this year. He did make his full club debut at Christie Park last year in that extra time semi-final against Rockdale. And he's one of those special Spirit stories who have climbed all the way through the ranks of the academy program and the junior age grades, and he's straight into the fray here. Daru flicking it forward. Shoki Yoshida couldn't connect. Sydney made 2 substitutions of their own, for what it's worth, one of whom is Nick Alfaro, the number 26 for Sydney, the 18-year-old who you may have saw score a goal in the opening weekend after 28 seconds off the bench. He's not quite going to be able to match that tally here. Samuel Lancaster is the other player who has made his way onto the field. Straight into the heart of defence for him. Takami. Still 30 minutes to play. Lots of football left here at Christie Park. Sydney 3-0 in the ascendancy. First half brace from Mitch Glasson, added to by Joe Lacey off the bench. Stavros Serpes. Serpes to Cornwell, cuts it back. Serpes to central. Fairly comfortably dealt with in the end by Sydney's defence. And Joe Lacey just earns a free kick, but sends Simon Nicholas into the book. It's a yellow card for the Spirit central defender. And we'll have now quite a number walking the tightrope. To Jesus, getting the eyes down, not picking out a teammate in the middle. Yoshida bounces back to Takami. Spirit will be all too happy to let that one go out for a goal kick. What a heave that is from Chris Marks. Counts for naught though. So Jesus doesn't get the whistle that he wanted. And Lacey rides the challenge with composure and quality. Feeds it forward to Lockie Middleton. Sydney with numbers in the box if Middleton can win it back. And he does. Still going. Lockie Middleton chopping it inside. And it's over the line for 4. And it's a flipping of the script from last week. A 4-0 defeat in the derby has turned into a 4-0 lead at Christie Park. And they are taking full advantage of the man advantage that they've got, the Sky Blues. Bit of conjecture as to who the final touch came off. It was Grarowski hoping to thump it over the line, but I just wonder if the ball may already have been across it by the time he got to it. Stavros Serpes is the player it cannoned off. It's a line ball call. Grarowski maybe claiming it as his first of the season. When he nearly could have had a say in that one too. And while combination of Serpes and Grarowski may have been responsible for working it in, the credit really must go to Lockie Middleton, who careened forward, refused to give up on the loose ball, bustled his way past the experienced figure of Grant Cornwell and teed it up for a persistent 4th goal. Lancaster. De Jesus. The most credentialed player out there when it comes to A-League appearances. Will this stay in play for Middleton? Jared, that is. It will. Finds a way back to Alfaro. His A-League career has only recently begun. Men's debut in the big blue on the 26th of January at Amy Park. Lockie Middleton knocking it out to the twin. Good play from Sydney. Alfaro, wonderful bending ball, but Marks read it well. Kaya Williams. And Spirit find the goal that their play has deserved, even if it may well at this point be consolatory. They're going to hand a debut to a fresh face shortly. Fresh face, familiar name in Australian football, but more on that in a second. Nicholas. Sakami, Kobayashi, Serpez, keeping it in play, crossing it in. Headed clear by Tyler Williams. Kyrie Williams has found a little pocket. Daru chops it back, and Farias cleaves his way through the ball.
Come on, come on. Come on, Jared, the thrower. Go, Jordy, go, Jordy, go, Jordy. Go, Nick Dot, stay with your player. Go, Nick Dot, good, again, again.
Good pressing work by Nick Alfaro. Ricky Middleton. Lancaster robbed of it. Wanted a free kick that never materialised. Not the first to say that today. DeJesus. Constant thorn in the side of Spirit's defensive left. Lacey twisting and turning and manages to keep it alive. DeJesus swings it in. Out and away by Cornwell. Early ball in, Graroski missed it. Kobayashi and Takami combine well. Good play. Daru. He's not pleased with himself. Coaching staff issue constructive criticism. Serge Malfara with a triple change here. So on comes Owen Henderson. Thomas Mason is in, having featured off the bench last week, and it is a NWS Spirit debut for 23-year-old Tristan Hammond. Recently returned to Australia. The boy from Westmead from stint at some pretty big clubs in Europe. Youth ranks of Austria Wien most recently. Sporting Club de Portugal before that, and if you recognise the Hammond name, he is the brother of Wanderers attacker Tristan Hammond. Slightly older brother, but he's got half as much talent as his younger sibling. It could prove to be a handy player for Spirits. Sydney have brought a fresh face on as well. That's Nick Calder, who's just given the ball away. Jared Middleton able to win it back. Camijo. Clipping it to Lacey. Showed too much of it to Stavros Serpes. Daru going hell for leather. The enthusiasm of the youthful substitute just getting the better of him that time. Alfaro. And back by Tristan Hammond. Sydney substitute Nick Calder. I like Tristan Hammond, a player who's returned to Australia from Europe. Austria Wien for Hammond. FC Luzern in Switzerland for the towering presence at the back of Nick Calder. 195 centimetres at the back if his transfer market page is to be believed. Daru again cutting a frustrated figure. Alfaro. Jared Middleton Grarowski, not a lot to aim at in the box. And so perhaps he was thinking about going it himself. Cornwell heads for touch just to allow Spirit to get some air back into the lungs. Tristan Hammond breaking away. On to aim at ahead, so laterally he goes for Shoki Yoshida. Owen Henderson on the ball in defence. Player who has been both at RPL Leichhardt and Blacktown, so comes from good stock. Actually currently, funnily enough, interning at the Western Sydney Wanderers as an analyst. I wonder if he spent any time looking at Sydney FC's NPL team in the lead up to that 4-0 win last week. Alfaro. Jared Middleton. Wonderful exchange of pass. Lancaster back onto the right. Couldn't reward it. Back to Middleton. And Spirit will deal with the danger. Daru. Gets Calder. Calder wins out. Mason. Playing a wonderful ball for Shoki Yoshida. It's 3v3 for Spirit here if they're good enough. Takami takes the touch wide. Shot blocked by Farias. Joe Lacey has had a lot of the ball since coming on. The 18-year-old got his first taste of senior competitive football in the off-season in the Australia Cup against Auckland in the quarterfinals. Scored the winner against Wrexham as well. Very emotional moments. With his family having heavy connections to Wrexham. Family back in Wales, if memory serves correct. One of many players out there eager to turn that talent into more A-League appearances going forward. Well, they have signed reinforcements in the striking area lately. Given the striking issues that Sydney FC have had this season, perhaps Mitch Glasson's first half showing gives Ufuk-Talay something to think about in the coming weeks. Shoki Yoshida managed to find a way out there when there wasn't one, and then has returned it to Sydney with a free kick. Inside the final 15 minutes. All intent on Sydney to find a fifth. Can't help but feel Spirit do merit finishing this game with a goal. Sydney won't care about that though. Lacey, lovely drag back. Can't find that shooting or crossing angle that he so desired. Jesus. Back to Lacey. Lacey stopping and propping. How did he find a way through there? The cross, not his best. Wrapped up by Marks. Been turned over by Hammond. Lacey looking to go for the lob, or was he going for the switch? for Nick Alfaro. It was a bit betwixt and between in the end. In case you were worried by what you heard in the effects mic, Christie Park hasn't been taken over by a giant armada of cockatoos. Just a couple flying overhead. Takami hoisting it in the Yoshida direction, but Jared Williams, who will be keen for his first clean sheet in Sydney colours, claiming simply and effectively. The floodlights have come on as the final 10 is about to tick over at Christie Park. It's been a frustrating day for the home faithful. 2-0 down, a man down at the break. Quick fire brace from Mitch Glasson. And then Joe Lacey and Jordan Gradowski have added to the advantage in the second. Oh, that's a wonderful ball over the top. It doesn't quite land for Gradowski. Stavros Serpes was first to it anyway. Marks gets it moving quickly. Despite his absolute best effort, Shoki Yoshida does not keep it alive, and that was a nasty haul back.
What?
It looked.
How was there a yellow card for them? What?
There's a few surprised here at Christie Park
Somebody told us ref to
about that one, it must be said. Two players got themselves into a tangle. It was
Zane, go back. Go to the back over there. You're annoying me. Oh, thanks for the ball.
to make out which Sydney FC player it was in the end that brought down Tristan Hammond, but there were many who felt that it should have been a free kick going Spirit's way rather than Sydney. Well, have been Samuel Lancaster. In any case, play continues. It's not going to change anything in this game. De Jesus. Alfaro wriggling away from markers. Wonderful reverse pass. Chopped back inside by Lacey. Offside flag was up against the 18-year-old. This is a very perfect setup for Sydney going into a tough clash upcoming next Friday. They will host the Marconi Stallions, who have been one of, if not the most impressive teams across the start of season 2026. Tough away trips to Wollongong and Sydney United on the way after that. So good timing for Sydney to find this win when they have. So had they lost today after that 4-0 loss last week, would have been setting themselves for a tricky month. In any case, they have responded well and with emphasis. Spirit will be left to rue a couple of crucial moments that cost them, and the moments of profligacy that have punished them thereafter. Here's Grauroski battling with Cornwell. Just gets a toe to it. crucial time board for his fellow defenders. Farias. Make no bones about it. Sydney want 5. Will they find it, though? Good turn by Lancaster. Decent cross as well. The deflection is a kind one for Thomas Mason. Sydney's counter-press effective. Alfaro. 1-2 with Camijo. Lancaster to the turf. Free kick coming for Sydney. Shooting range, you would have to think, with the technical talents Sydney have got on offer. I can't help but notice that Joe Lacey was very quick to come across and make this ball his own. That said, there is no shortage of interested takers here. Take your pick between Wataru Camijo, Nick Alfaro, Jordan Grarowski, Joe Lacey. 2 of those 4 have now departed. Camijo's the lone man standing over the ball. Wataru Camijo looks to set it up at the back post. Can't really do so. How many men does it take to take a free kick? 1 to send the ball in, and 3 others to tell you I would have done it better. I guess. Not Camijo's best. We'll have another go here, though, for more of a corner sort of position, this free kick. Is this better from Camijo? It certainly is. Punched away by Marks. The Jesus, the last outfielder back for Sydney. Camijo, great cross, lurking at the back post was Nick Calder. That would have been a first goal in Sydney colours for him at NPL New South Wales level, but not to be. For the towering central defender at 20 years of age. Of course, this game absolutely could have gone a different way on a different day if Spirit had have taken a few more of their chances. In it comes. Lacey was twisting and turning. Might have been a different day had things broken another way for Spirits. Certainly could have gotten a result with the team they have out there on the park today, but it is worth mentioning or reminding that they were without Costa Petratos today. No Brady Smith as well, so they will get players like that back. Grarowski offside. And Serge Malfara will be hoping that they are back sooner rather than later. It's a winnable run upcoming. They head away to Sydney Olympic next week, 5 o'clock next Saturday at Belmore, before a hosting of St George City, themselves in desperate need for a win, before the sojourn to the south coast to face the Wollongong Wolves. Little skew whiff from Marks. Tristan Hammond towered by Middleton. Tayad Naji judges Tristan Hammond to have tunnelled A towering, long-limbed central defender for Sydney, who has been showing a pretty keen willingness to get forward as this game has gone on. Spirit have rather lost a little bit of that zip they had in the 40 minutes or so after going down to 10. Cornwell goes down. Throw taken quickly to Jesus. Shielding it from one, not a second. Mason earning himself a deep free kick. Daru.
Keep going.
Friendly fire breaks the way of Rotaru Kamijo. To Jesus. About to step into stoppage time. Courtesy of Ben Hutchinson. Looks like 3 additional minutes to end this game. Time enough for Sydney to find a 5th. Jared Middleton. Alfaro. Checking inside. Nick Alfaro. Had he got that on target, he would have had the perfect angle of it. Good off the boot, but always corkscrewing away from goal. Whether or not they find their 5th, Jimmy Van Wieren will be a very happy man when it's all said and done. In round 3 of NPL New South Wales. Academy sides can be famously boom or bust from week to week. Lots of change. No doubt the Sky Blues season so far, albeit early days, has followed that pattern. Now this side, this display has been the boom. Henderson has turned it over. Alfaro. Lacey left a little bit behind him by Kamijo. But it matters not. Sydney get a free kick. Will take us towards and into the final minute of stoppage. And this time Joe Lacey, having lost out to Wataru Kamijo previously, he's got his reward of being the man upon whose shoulders the responsibility rests. Lacey takes it quickly. Alfaro muscled off it. No shot arrives at the end. A corner coming, is it? No, it isn't. Naji signals for a goal kick, which Spirit take quickly. 30 seconds left between Sydney FC and a sizable return to the winner's circle. Grauroski. Chance still for Sydney to find the 5th. Lacey couldn't get the free kick in. And it will be a free kick for Spirits.
Get him up! Get up!
Well, the alarm bells were blaring at Sky Park after that derby disappointment last week. The heavy stain of a 4-0 loss to the Wanderers washes away with a Sky Blue statement at the Arctic Circle. Sydney FC bounce back in the best way possible from a 4-0 loss with a 4-0 win. It's a result that perhaps flatters the visitors. It could have been a different game on a different day. But Sydney had the clinicality that the home side rather lacked. They took the lead through a fantastic finish from outside the box from Mitch Glasson. His first of 2 in the first half. He converted a spot kick before the break after a penalty conceded by Aiden Mustafi that sent Spirit down to 10. They had their chances to find a way back into the game before the break. They didn't, and Sydney punished them in the second stanza. Joe Lacey came off the bench, got straight onto the score sheet, and from there the game was done, and it was largely one-way traffic. They added a 4th through Jordan Gradowski. Well, Spirit will take some positivity from their performance against the odds. It is a second successive loss for Serge Malfara, and work to do in the weeks ahead. But Sydney have responded to adversity in the perfect way. The full-time score from Christie Park: NWS Spirit 0, Sydney FC 4.